Papa, you speak about freedom. What is freedom?
Freedom? A trap. Because bondage. You are in the trap. A man who's imprisoned in the jail, he needs to be free, isn't it? He is trapped in the jail. He has heard, he knows some people are free outside, no? So this you have heard from outside, from the parents, no?
From the
Priests, from the teachers, preachers. Come to us, we will give you freedom. Come to me, I will give you rest. Isn't it? That is the promise. And this is another trap. This is another trap, from one trap to another trap. Now you are trapped in the freedom trap. You should be out of both these traps, neither of bondage nor of freedom. Because this is a concept. Bondage was a concept. Now, concept of freedom. Get rid of both these concepts. Then, where are you?
Is what you speak of enlightenment?
Enlightenment is the knowledge itself, not knowledge of persons, things, ideas.
Pure knowledge.
Only knowledge, not a word. Only knowledge, where does not exist anything, no imagination of the past, no imagination of the future, not even the present.
I can't imagine a state with no imagination.
That's what is called bondage. That's what is called bondage, and that's what's called suffering, and that's what's called samsara. And if I tell you, do not imagine, don't have any imaginations right now. Imagination is images, no? Image, this
Thought, image.
It has come from images, imagination. You are thinking of the images, and all images belong to the past. Don't recall the past, and don't aspire anything of the future. Imagination goes. Imagination is out of the mind. Mind is past.
Papaji, you say that enlightenment is a very easy thing to discover. And yet, I have heard you say many times that the number of people who have fully woken up to their own selves can be counted on one's fingers. If it is so easy, why do so few succeed?
It's so easy because you have not to work for it. It's so easy, you have not to go anywhere. You have not to go anywhere. You have to stay quiet. Therefore, it is very easy to attain freedom, is very easy, but it becomes difficult. The people say difficult because they are otherwise engaged. So to give up their attachment to other things is difficult. Not the freedom is not difficult. To disengage yourself from other attachments may be difficult. That you have to decide once upon a time, now or next life.
My first impression was a kindly, gentle, elderly Indian man, and who was quite beautiful. And I came and saw him and then left and asked a few questions and went to Europe and then came back again. and the next time something different happened. Suddenly the whole world and everything that I had ever known before disappeared and never to reappear again. Just absolute awe. It was as though it felt like the knowledge of everything was there. The sense of an I has disappeared, and functioning just happens. Before there appeared to be a choice, but for there to be a choice there needs to be two. There has to be a chooser and a choice, and that doesn't exist. How can there be a choice when there's only one, and not even that? Speaking or not speaking, how can one say who one is? It isn't possible. They say, I am that I am. Who can understand that? Everybody appeared beautiful. In Lucknow here, it's a dirty, filthy place, and it smells. And when we first came here, what were we doing here? And now it appears beautiful. Even the pigs appear beautiful.
There's so many kinds of meditation that are practiced, and so many of them rely on looking at phenomena, watching breath, seeing thoughts arise and fall. What is meditation?
What you are speaking is not meditation, that is concentration. Not meditation. You are speaking of concentration, not meditation. Meditation means not to concentrate on any object. It's called meditation. Not to bring in any object of the past in the mind, and do not use your mind. That's called meditation. Don't use your mind. That's called meditation. And where the mind is used, that's called concentration, because mind will only cling to some object that belongs to past. And have you been told to meditating without the aid of the mind?
That's a hard question to answer. Most meditation that I've done involves techniques for dealing with thoughts that arise, but the point of the meditation seems to be a thoughtless state, a state where no thoughts arise.
Yes, that's called meditation. Where the no thoughts arise, that's called meditation.
But thoughts arise. Inevitably, thoughts arise. How do you deal with thoughts that arise?
I will tell you how to deal, and then I will know how the thought arises, okay? You will tell me. I think you can devote me a time equal to finger snap, will you? One instant moment, I say. This much time I will need you to stop your thought, okay? Okay. What is a thought? What is mind? There is no difference between thought and mind, isn't it?
Thought arises from mind.
Yes, thought arises from mind, and mind is a bundle of thoughts. Without thoughts, there is no mind. Without thought, there is no mind. Now I tell you, and what is mind? I. I is mind. Mind is past, clinging to past, present, future, clinging to time, clinging to objects is called mind. Where does the mind arise from? I, single. When the I rises, mind rises. Mind rises, senses rises. Senses arises, world rises. Now find out, where does the I rise from? Where does the I rises from? And tell me if you are not quiet. Direct the mind to the source. This is the inquiry. And look at the source. Let the mind face the source for the first time. What is mind? thought. What is thought? I. Let this I face the source. Now, facing the source is called inquiry. When the eye is facing, there it inquires. As mirror in front of the mirror is reflecting. When you see the mirror, see your face, a reflection. When you keep aside the mirror, where does the reflection go? Back to the face. So this eye is inquiring from its own source, which was reflected in the mind, mind to the senses, senses to the body, and body to the senses, and senses to the objects. This universe is this thing. So let us hold, this is the method of Maharishi, striking at the root of the mind. Everything else, all other methods, ways described by other people who teach any kind of sadhana, any kind of practice, are with the mind. Result will be mental. Or like yoga, physical. Result will be physical. And this is striking at the root of mind instantly. So mind is no more. So facing the eye now, straightway, to the source, this reflection of the eye merge back and become that. And here ends the inquiry. Then the man will feel it was me all along. I had been free all along.
When I went to Papa's feet and I said, my teacher's been saying what you've been saying to me, but something's wrong, and I don't, there must, I just said that. You're saying what my teacher's saying. And he said, what does your teacher say? And I said, well, he says to turn the mind onto itself and let it go. And watch the thoughts as they arise. And as they arise, look into the source of the thought and watch it disappear. And he said, yes, it's the same, but you are making a mistake. You're looking into the thoughts, but you're not looking to the source of the thoughts. And, I mean, he said, give me your answer when you look to the source of the thoughts. And I couldn't figure it out anymore. You know, I felt like I cannot figure that out. And I started, you know, tears started running down my cheeks. And he said, very good answer.
When Papaji asked you to look for the source of your thoughts, did you feel you knew where to look?
I mean, later somebody asked me that question, and I responded that it didn't seem like it seemed like the first time that there was neither effort nor non-effort. And now that sounds a little stale, but I think that's the only thing I can really say about that, because it was a giving up, but it wasn't like I give up, you know. It was somehow, I really felt his grace. I mean, his looking into my eyes. That's what happened, yeah.
I is mind. Now the question is to go beyond this thought, I thought, find out where does the I arise from. Now, and you are beyond mind now.
It's just not there.
Huh?
It's just not there.
Huh? Not there, just not there. Yeah, again go deeper. So don't have any relation. Listen, you have done very well. Listen to me, don't get into it. Listen. You still say, it is not just there, no? Yeah, transcend it even this. One half step more you have to, half step beyond. The more you go, the more you will feel happiness. Yes, you will see it now. The more you go, the more you feel happiness because it is fathomless peace. The more you go, you will see happiness and you will know for yourself, and not only you will in love with it, it will fall in love with you. This is the beauty of this thing. Let it fall in love with you now, and you fall in love with it.
I've waited so long for this. I've waited so long for this. It's easy.
Huh?
It's easy.
Yeah, everybody says. Easiest thing is to know thyself. Easiest thing in the world, so say the Upanishads, easiest thing of all is to be in peace, to win enlightenment is the easiest of all. That is what the book of knowledge says. Yeah. Because you have not to do anything, not to go anywhere, it is here and now. Here and therefore you say, everybody say, it was so easy, nobody told me.
And it actually happened, I was sitting with my boyfriend at dinner at the restaurant here, and I step by step looked at, what do I call mind? Mind is a sequence of thoughts. What's the first thought? The I thought. So I can collectively call that mind or I. And then Papa says, look for it. See where you can find it. And in less than a second, I can't explain it. It was something reversed and everything stopped and there's no mind. And there never was. It's an idea.
How has it changed your life? For better?
This. Well, that's your answer. And I think Papa makes it very clear, he gives us nothing. That's why this can never be lost. There is no teaching. I mean, if I came looking for freedom, I found out that there wasn't any freedom or any bondage. That's the joke.
Dear Papaji, up till 5 years ago, I had several occurrences or experiences which I can only describe as enlightenment. So will you quote one of them which you called enlightenment experience?
One day, well, for quite some time I was on my own and meditating for probably 3 months. And one day I was looking at clouds and I'd just been reading something about nothingness. And then somebody said the word to me and everything seemed to stop. And I just started laughing and laughing and laughing, and everything seemed completely hysterical. And I felt like nothing mattered anymore, that I just felt that I'd returned home. And I was like that for quite some time. And then I lost that space.
That's I see.
And I've
That's happened several times.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's quite enough. I know what the trouble was. Had you met a teacher at that time, this would have been the final experience, you see. Unless you know, unless it's tested, verified by a teacher, you can misuse it and even throw it away.
In order to succeed, Papaji, is it necessary to have a master who is himself spiritually realized?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Otherwise, how to know that you are on the right track?
Many people in the West, Papaji, have spent a long, long time looking for a realized master. What advice can you give them? How would you advise them to conduct a search for a fully enlightened being?
They cannot find a true master, cannot be seen by the eyes. Cannot be seen by the eyes. Therefore, if they try to see by their senses, they can't make a good judgment, because master is beyond the senses and beyond any judgment. You can't see. If you feel your mind is quiet and you feel some kind of happiness and peace, and that can be the outer symptoms of a teacher, and only those people who are intensely devoted to freedom, they can only sense it, not others. So when you go to a teacher, you keep quiet. You need not give any question. Don't expect any answer. You just see, sit quiet and feel if your mind is quiet or not. If it is quiet, then you expect this is the man who can teach you. This is the man who is worth staying near. If you are very intensely in want of this thing for freedom and you don't understand, so this freedom out of compassion takes a physical form to speak to you in your own tongue, so that you understand what is freedom, and then it teaches that I am your own self. And then it enters your own self and becomes one. This is the role of the teacher, to point out to you, I am yourself. I am that itself. This is the role of the teacher. For some time it becomes a teacher to just apprise you of the fact that you are that, you don't listen. Therefore, he becomes teacher. That becomes teacher to tell you, you are that itself. And then you see teacher and you is one.
Everyone who comes to you, you are encouraging them to look for their own self. Why are you doing this? What motivates you to do this?
My own happiness, because they are sleeping and they are suffering. When the treasure is within them. This is a ring, you know. It is round, isn't it? 1 centimeter, call it whatever it is, you see. I can call it half an inch. Its diameter. And then it is circumference. Then it is circumference. Then it is made for this purpose. Ring, name, form. Its name is now ring, you see. Name is ring, form is something round which we put on the finger. What else do you see?
What it's made of. It's made of gold.
This is the shop of an Indian goldsmith. A woman, bored with a piece of gold jewelry she has worn for many years, has decided she wants something new. Instead of buying a new item to add to her collection, she has decided, in keeping with local customs, to have her old piece melted down and refashioned into something new. As the gold is melted down and reshaped, what changes and what remains the same? Different forms made of gold, such as rings or bracelets, don't lose their fundamental nature, their goldness, when they appear in different forms. Only the names and shapes are different. When you look at a piece of jewelry, you see the form and call it a ring, a bracelet, a chain, or a necklace. The gold, the real abiding nature of the jewelry, is temporarily forgotten. Look around you, at your own body, at the names and forms of all the things and people around you. Be aware that the form, the person you take yourself to be, is just an appearance, and that your real substance, your real nature, cannot ever change.